Well, good evening. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. I'll always begin by that because it is because of you that we are here. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right away, and in particular, to the point. And to the point is basically about conversations that most of the people would consider uncomfortable to have. And so tonight, we're just looking at the nannies, the house managers within us, just getting to understand what are their roles, just how much do we appreciate and respect these ladies and gentlemen, and just what do we need to do to make sure that the home is a safe space for them, even as they strive to make it a safe space for us. Right here, make sure that you engage us. I'm sure that's quite a steamy or perhaps a good conversation for us to have this evening. Interact with us. The hashtag, as always, is to the point. I'll be sampling some of your comments as we continue with the broadcast. It would be good to hear what you have to say. But even before it gets to that, it's important that you get to see what is in the world of news, and here are the highlights. Tonight, concerns abound following reports of more loved ones missing in the aftermath of the deadly gas explosion in Embakasi. Where are they? Also tonight, 4 pilgrims die after a freight crash in Nyahururu. And President Ruto wraps up his tour of the Western region with promises galore, even as he maintains that the affordable housing plan will continue. Later on tonight on To The Point, we talk about the changing role of nannies or house managers in Kenya today. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right now. My name is Linda Alela. Sign language interpreter is Catherine Simaloi. We start off with some bit of politics. And President William Ruto has dismissed opposition chief Raila Odinga's criticism that the affordable housing plan design and implementation method isn't right. President Ruto maintaining that through the construction of affordable housing units is an intentional move by the administration to create employment that is for the youth in this country, insisting that the project will implement or perhaps will bring on board the aspect of jobs for these numerous youth. Even, of course, as they say that it will be interrupted, he maintains it will not be interrupted.
The high-octane politics surrounding the affordable housing scheme is far from over, with President William Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga continue trading jabs over the hot subject, which remains a major point of discussion around the country. This Sunday, while attending an interdenominational service held at approved schools grounds, Kakamega, President William Ruto dismissed the latest criticism on the design and implementation of affordable housing by Raila Odinga. That was the problem.
Mimi nashukuru hata jana former prime minister amesema yeye anaamini affordable housing. Sasa story si imeishia hapo. Sasa bado tunabishana nini tena? Amesema hiyo affordable housing ni kitu ya maana sana. And that is what I have been saying. Sasa hii maandamano yote ilikuwa ya nini?
Further, President Ruto singled out the program as an initiative that will create jobs and decent homes for Kenyans, pointing out that already 130,000 young people have been gainfully employed by working on the housing program.
And we must be deliberate this time round to make sure that we have programs, we have plans that will create job opportunities for the young people of Kenya, for them to work, for them to get an income, and for them to make a meaningful contribution to the development of our country.
Kelele ikipigwa, focus on what God has appointed and anointed you to do for this country. And Your Excellency, I am glad that you are focusing on that.
Leaders accompanying Ruto picked issues with the opposition, accusing the Raila-led side of opposing every government initiative without good reason, despite the benefits withstanding.
People who want to always criticize the president. Oh, he has commented on the judiciary, he has commented on this.
Huyu rais mnamuona hapa, alihakikisha Sugar Task Force imefanyika na yale aliandikwa kuhusu Western Kenya and Nyanza, kuhusu sukari, ameanza kuyatimiza.
As the president's tour to the Western region coming to an end Sunday, The head of state vowed not to relent in the fight against corruption in the sugar industry, also announcing he will soon send a proposal to the National Assembly for MPs to consider allocating 3 billion Kenya shillings to the sugar industry to support farmers in the quest to produce more for local consumption and export. Mwigi William, TV47.
And 4 people have died after a matatu they were traveling in was involved in a road accident along Nyahururu Nyeri Road, that is near Marina area. The victims were attending a prayer service at Subukia.
It was a trip that the pilgrims had long anticipated, a pilgrimage at the famous Subukia Shrine. However, it was cut short by a road accident. The group of women from St. Monica Gaiteri Catholic Church in Murang'a Diocese were heading back home after successful annual prayers.
Tulikuwa tunakuja maombi Subukia sana. Tukakuwa na mchana mwema, lakini tukirudi tukapata road accident.
However, upon reaching Marina, some 70 kilometers away from the shrine, the vehicle they were traveling in, a 14-seater matatu, was involved in a head-on collision with a trailer.
Tuliona trailer mbele yetu, ikakuja ikatugonga.
Ninatoka kanisa Subukia, nilitoka kanisa, gari tunakonayo, naitwa nini, trailer ikakuja, ikakoga gari, ikaaguka.
4 of them died on the spot, while the survivors were rushed to Nyahururu County Referral Hospital, Mary Immaculate Muiga, and Nyeri County Referral Hospitals, respectively. Nyandarua County Woman Representative Faith Getau, who visited the victims at the hospitals, condoled with the affected.
Niko hapa Nyahururu County Referral Hospital, ambapo tumereceive watu ambao wamepata accident na ni wamama wa CWA kutoka Murang'a. Leo walikuwa maombi hapa Shrine, but unfortunately wakapata ajali ya barabara between Daragwa and Nyeri. Kwa hivyo kuna wengine wameletwa hapa. We have ensured that wametibiwa, wengine wameenda nyumbani na kuna mwingine tumetransfer Mathari. Kuna wengine walipata hiyo accident wakapelekwa Nyeri Hospital. Kwa hivyo mimi kama mama county Nyandarua nataka kuwaambia watu wa Murang'a poleni sana.
George Maringa, TV47.
And it has been a day of sadness and sorrow for Africa as the president of Namibia passed on early in the morning after battling cancer. Hage Geingob died at the age of 82. His vice president, Nangolo Mbumba, has since assumed the position of the acting president until the day the elections will be held this November. Back at home, popular actor Charles Ouda passed on the night of 3rd February at the age of 38.
Death serves as a subtle reminder that we should seize the day. It also serves as a time to reflect on our life stories. A story like that of the late Namibian president Hage Geingob, who passed on Sunday morning at Lady Pohamba Hospital in the capital of Windhoek after a battle with cancer. His death follows 3 weeks of anxiety after it was announced 3 weeks ago that he would undergo cancer treatment. At the time of his death, his wife, Monica Geingob, and children were beside him. President Geingob passed on at the age of 82. President William Ruto mourns the late Namibian president Hage Geingob as a distinguished leader and a believer in a unified Africa. Kenyan flags flew at half-mast in honor of the late Namibian president. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta also mourned the late Geingob as a great leader who contributed immensely to the liberation of Namibia. The Vice President of Namibia, 82-year-old Nangolo Mbumba, will assume the position of acting President of Namibia until the Namibian general elections will be held this November. Vice President Nangolo has headed a number of Namibian ministries such as agriculture, water and rural development, information and broadcasting, education and safety and security until he became the Vice President on 12 February 2018. Back at home, the film and entertainment industry has lost yet another luminary. Charles Ouda, who passed on the night of 3rd February at the age of 38. popularly known as Charlie, has featured on many films and TV shows such as Makutano Junction, No Zone, Changing Times, Higher Learning, Changes, Mali, Salem, and Crime and Justice. His cause of death is yet to be determined. It has been a day filled with grief and sorrow, and as it is, life is not so much the destination as it is the journey. A journey the two great men and many others today have traversed. May our departed legends rest in peace. For TV47, I am Natasha Wairemo.
Indeed, may the departed legends rest in peace. Now, the victims of the fire caused by a gas explosion in Muradi, Embakasi, Nairobi are concerned over the possibility of more casualties after reports emerged that several residents remain missing 2 days after the blast. Nevertheless, the government has revealed that a total of 6 people have died so far. Mike Agungu with the details.
The government estimates that the fire calamity triggered by a gas explosion in the Muradi neighborhood in Embakasi, Nairobi, will affect over 700 homes.
The distribution happened yesterday up to 1:30 a.m. and 761 families were given the support. But there is a remainder for the ones that are still in hospital.
The survivors remain concerned as several residents remain missing 2 days after the incident. Even so, heads are rolling at the National Environmental Management Authority NEMA, with 4 officials requested to resign in order to facilitate investigations.
Wacha vile tunaona deadline tu kwa redia watu 4, watu 5, watu 6. Watu wako hapa zaidi watu karibu 20. Bado wengine bado kwa manyumba tu.
Venye mimi naona hadi marafiki zangu hapo wengine hata sijawaona, sijui wako wapi kivipi ama wako wapi. Lakini mimi sidarajii kama wako juu, ni wengi nasikia tu marafiki zangu wengine wamekufa.
So far, only 6 deaths have been documented. This according to the government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura. After Kenyatta National Hospital reported 3 more cases, and Nairobi Hospital reported 1 more.
We can only report the deaths that have been reported in hospitals. So if there are people who have died in the houses, possibly some bodies maybe have been burned beyond recognition, the rescue operations will continue to ascertain that. But it's not good to exaggerate the numbers just because the situation looks dire. The official statistics as we speak now are 6, 2 at Nairobi West Hospital and 4 at KNH.
Kenyatta National Hospital received 67 patients from the incident, with 6 in critical condition, suffering from severe burns. The hospital has successfully discharged 27 patients, while 34 others continue to receive care in various wards. Currently, 28 families comprising of 30 adults and 19 children are taking shelter at the social hall, with others having found alternative accommodation. The government said the ongoing efforts focus on assisting affected families in transitioning back to normalcy. The Kenya Red Cross has implemented a mechanism to cover 2 months' rent for the affected individuals, amounting to 6,000 Kenyan shillings per month, urging landlords to accommodate them on humanitarian grounds without expected requirements.
There is that concern about children going to school. The arrangement we have with the Kenya Red Cross is that they are going to give stipends to pay for rent for 2-3 months. So we are calling upon the landlords to be lenient with these people because of issues of deposit and to take their vouchers from Kenya Red Cross.
The government declared that the impacted people are still receiving various forms of assistance. Those who lost vital documents are assured that they will obtain them after appropriate measures implemented by the government. In an effort to identify those who operate phony gas farms, Mwaura invited Kenyans who are aware of locations like this in Embakasi to come forward and provide information that could save lives.
Express concerns where they see any refilling station that is injurious to their very existence. Let them register with IPRA. Let them send their details to IPRA. They can also do the same using the local administration.
The government is also pleading with people to donate blood and show sympathy for the bereaved families, demonstrating solidarity and resiliency that characterize Kenyan society. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
We continue to bring you updates of that story. Now, Wiper leaders led by Kalonzo Musyoka and accompanied by the former minister Eugene Wamalwa have criticized the Kenya Kwanza government over a poor record on corruption and honest leadership. Kalonzo Musyoka called for respect of political parties and multi-party democracy, expressing his concern about state house interference with political parties, including his very own Wiper party. The leaders were speaking at Full Gospel Church in Kajiado County. Also in attendance was Machakos Governor Wavinya, who condemned the recent gas explosion in Embakasi, advocating for thorough investigation to ensure accountability. Governor Wavinya's words were equally echoed by Senator Manzo of Makueni County, who said that President Ruto should apologize to Kenyans because it is the responsibility of the government to protect its citizens. Further, Governor Wavinya encouraged Kenyans to unite behind Kalonzo Musyoka for the 2027 presidency, emphasizing the need for leadership with integrity and calling for a collective effort to build a stronger and more prosperous nation.
If we can allow an honest man to take over this government, a team of integrity, a team that does not have any corrupt record, this is where the future of this country lies. Na mimi naona kama hiyo timu iko hapa Kajiado leo na hamuna habari.
Baba Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, your territory is bigger than you'd imagine. The stronghold is not only Ukambani, but hapa Kajiado going forward, kule Meru, kule Taita Taveta na Pwani kwa ujumla. Na kwa sababu mimi kama mwenyekiti wa wabunge wote wa Pwani, tumesema kwamba chama hiki cha Wiper na baba yetu Kalonzo Musyoka tutamshikilia mpaka tarehe 10 mwezi wa 8 2027 aingie Ikulu ili Kenya ipone na tupate maendeleo ya kamili kwa mtu ambaye anamuogopa Mungu kiukweli.
Mimi nalia na ndugu zangu wale wa Embakasi. Ile ilifanyika huko Embakasi was very wrong. Mtu ameambiwa atoe matanka yake katikati ya nyumba za watu na afanye. There are those enforcement officers who should have done that. If those officers did their work well, hao watu hawangechomeka. Hivyo wa Kenya, vile ningependa kuwauliza, mumwangalie ndugu yetu na baba yetu Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka na macho ya kuongoza nchi ya Kenya.
Tukaona moto mkubwa sana ulilipuka Kenya na watu wakaumia. Niseme ya kwamba jambo na jukumu la kuchunga wananchi kwanza kabisa ni kwa rais wa Kenya na kufuatia wafanyikazi wake. Kwa hivyo rais asilaumu wafanyikazi wake, kwanza ajilaumu mwenyewe na aombe wa Kenya msamaha.
All right, the National Land Commission, NLC, and the National Assembly Health Committee have been petitioned to intervene in the raging fight between the county government of Nakuru and the management of War Memorial Hospital over ownership of the 101-year-old medical facility. The Kenya Internally Displaced Persons Organization's KIDPO, through its spokesperson, Mr. Peter Tena, faulted a section of high-ranking politicians, that is from the county, for politicizing the issue by directing personalized attacks at the county government's terming the move as counterproductive since it is clouding investigations on legality of War Memorial Hospital's ownership, the documents by the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI. At the same time, KIDPO has called on the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, and the national government to expedite the recovery of public land that they say has been grabbed by private investors.
Kwa majina ninaitwa Peter Tena. Ministry ya Health kutoka Nairobi inasema nini? Kama ni ile committee ya national ya parliament inayohusiana na mambo ya health inasema nini? Haya, kuna vitengo vingine za health wanasema nini? Wamemwacha Wanjiko, wamemwacha Otieno, wamemwacha Hassan akiwa amenigania kama member of public. Vile ambavyo mbunge wa eneo letu ambao sisi ndio tulimchagua alivyosema director wa criminal investigation initiate full investigation na inspector general of police, vile walifanya Mavoko na vile wamefanya sehemu zile nyingine mpaka Narok, wakuje hapa Nakuru waangazie shamba ya Crawford kwa sababu Roger Jocelyn ametajwa hapo na pia ametajwa katika War Memorial.
Na tungelitaka hata national government, hata washikadau wale wengine wote wa serikali waweze kusaidia hii kaunti yetu, na ndipoza kuweze kuwa na faida ambayo tutaweza kupata katika kupanuliwa kwa mji wetu. Ukiangazia sasa, ukiangalia kuna mambo mengi natakikana ifaidi sisi kama Wanjiku, lakini inafunikwa.
Sisi tunajua mipango ambayo yenye governor ako naye. Governor ako na mpango ya kuanzisha referral hospital mahali pale. Kwa hivyo hata mgonjwa wa kawaida akienda pale, kadi ya NHIF itakuwa inakubaliwa.
Now, detectives in Nandy Hills, Nandy County, are investigating an incident which a 60-year-old man was found dead after suspected suicide in Samway Forest. The man, who has been identified as Philip Kimutai Sitinei, was found on Sunday morning by a local resident whom he saw the body hanging. Police have moved the body to Nandy Hills Hospital mortuary pending autopsy and other probe procedures.
Anke, negere le tos ko bunu jijelelo. Amu.
Ship MSC Poesia has docked at the port of Mombasa, carrying 2,500 tourists of different nationalities and 1,000 crew members, of which 20 are Kenyans.
We've been here, we've been cruising for nearly a month now, and I just want you to know that out of all the ports we've attended, this is the best port that's made us feel welcome. It's tried to help us and make us feel part of the family. So we want to say thank you to Kenya and the people of Kenya. We're looking forward to going on a safari. We're trying to organise that right now.
I hope to see animals and people, and I'm very happy to be here.
Majority will be here in Mombasa, but some have already left to other parts of the country. Early this morning, about 70 have already jetted off to Masai Mara National Park, and that visit alone to Masai Mara National Park, just for the next few hours, they will be leaving behind 23 million Kenya shillings, just for those few hours in Kenya. You find there are others going to Amboseli, others going to Savo, and others. So this visit by itself, when we did our calculation, is giving us 50 million shillings very quickly in a very, very short time. Last year, we received about 3,123 people who came by ship. That is 2023. This year, 2 months alone, we have already surpassed 5,000. That means there's a new growth and there's new interest in Kenya. So in the whole of 2023, 3,123. This year wakapata fununu ni serikali mpya ikafika, ilikuwa imechelewa kidogo, ya William Ruto wamekuja, and we're expecting the bookings that we have so far are in excess of 12,000 visitors coming by cruise ships. The reality is that the 12,000 people who are coming, we estimate this year, are a drop in the ocean, because Kenya should be receiving, and the capacity is 140,000 visitors by cruise ships. My job and the job of my ministry and my team is to grow this 12,000 number to higher numbers. And I will be negotiating and we'll be working on programs with our friends who own these shipping companies, cruise ship companies, so that they can add Kenya to the circuit, so that people can come here.
Worth celebrating, because then that means a flourish in the world of tourism. We're about to look at the sports stories, but before then, a reminder on the discussion tonight that is on the To The Point, where we take a look at the role of nannies, exploring societal attitudes towards them, the challenges that they get to experience even as we work with them or as we stay with them, and the importance of fair treatment. And on set this evening, we have Cleo